Hey, so what's up, everyone? My name is Carmen Naomi Taylor, and this is my page. I look a hot mess. I hate this lighting, but if I don't use this light, you, my friends, will not see like a full, clear picture of who I am and what I'm about and what I look like. So, okay. So I just quit this job. And normally I'm not one to go out like just go and quit a job just to quit a job, but I had to quit this job because it was the most uncomfortable I've ever been in my entire life. Like the first day I get there, everything's cool, we're fine. This lady who is supposed to be training me, she starts asking me like, am I bisexual? Am I bisexual? Do I like men? Do I like women? And all this stuff. And I'm like, I didn't really answer with like a yes or no because I don't know if you know, like, or I don't know if you people think the same way, but like in my head, I'm thinking, okay, to either backfire and bite me in the ass. So I just like laughed it off and like it was like a nervous laugh and it was just so awkward. So that was the first experience. And I, right off the bat, I told her I had a boyfriend. Granted, I don't really have a boyfriend. Like I'm dating, but I don't really have a boyfriend that I'm like claiming. But I wanted her to know, like, I don't want your man. I don't want any man that works here. I just want to work and get a paycheck. So I thought everything was good. I thought we were fine. Blah 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 blah. Day number two. Listen, I'm not like this, like stuck up, like, oh, I don't like sex. I don't like this because don't get me wrong, I love sex and I love being a freak. I'm like the most embarrassing freak to like my best friend. Like I embarrass him all the time because that's all I do is I flirt and I have fun. However, when you're in the workplace, you should have a certain amount of respect for the employees and your bosses as well, which is what I was trying to do. I was trying to give them respect, but yet getting to know them and being really nice. And I appreciated them giving me the opportunity as a transgender woman to work for them. So I appreciated that 100%. And I didn't want to mess anything up. Anyways, so day two, we're there. I'm working. I'm reading the script that they gave me that I had to practice and so on and so forth. And then she comes over. She smacks me in the butt. And she's like, come on, you have to loosen up, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, that's fine. I was like, no, I know, I'm not normally this shy or whatever, but like when I first meet people, it takes me a while to open up and just be myself around them. So like I told her, and I told her boyfriend the same thing. I was just like, give me some time, let me open up. So she goes, do you have a car? I said yes. She goes, what are you doing later? I said, I'm probably going to go home. It's like, it was going to be 11 o'clock at night. And so I was like, I'm probably going to go home. She's like, did you eat dinner? I was like, no, but I'm not really hungry. She's like, well, you should come to our house. I'm going to cook a meal, blah, 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 blah. I said, oh, that's cool. I was like, well, maybe another time. I was like, but I'm really tired. And then she was just like asking why was I tired, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so she was hinting for me to go to her house. I'm not saying that they wanted me to have like a threesome or anything like that, but it seemed as if that's where it was going. And again, this is day two of meeting these people. I did not want to make the bad first impression by like being that slut who sleeps with their bosses on the first day or the second day, if you know what I mean. Excuse me. So I declined the offer. I said I have to go home. My boyfriend's waiting up for me, and blah 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 blah. But I really was meeting up with my best friend Ryan. So that's where I was. I went to the bar to meet up with him. The third day, um, oh no, then it was him. Like it was. Do you think I look cute with the shirt inside, or do you think I look cute with the shirt outside? I'm not gonna lie, my boss was really sexy. Like he was a sexy guy, and so was his girlfriend. They're very sexy individuals. But again, this is day three. I don't want to say the wrong thing, or I don't want to come off the wrong way. But apparently, that's exactly what I did. I came off like a stuck up stuck up snooty bitch who doesn't even like to have fun. And that's the image that they're probably gonna tell people about me, but at this point I really don't care. Let's see. So the third time he asked me, I said, well, I personally, if I'm gonna wear a shirt like that, I would wear it inside my thing. Then he's like, oh, my girlfriend thinks that I should wear it out. Okay, so then don't ask me. Then she comes over right after him and she's like, you think my boyfriend's hot? You think my boyfriend's hot? You think he's hot? And then I'm like, nope, you're not going to say the wrong thing, because let me tell you something. When I date somebody and I feel like there's a girl or a guy or whatever, and they're checking out the guy that I'm dating, I will ask you, do you think my boyfriend's hot? And I want to know what kind of answer you're going to give. And if you give the wrong answer, then I know, like, if you, like, for example, if I ask you and you say, yes, he's so fucking hot, blah, 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 excuse my language, then I'm going to be like, okay, now I have to watch this bitch. Every move that she makes, I'm going to watch this bitch because she's going to try to sleep with my man. That's what I was thinking in my head. I was like, okay, I don't want to say that I think he's hot and I don't want to say that I think he's attractive, because I did not want her to feel like she had to watch me 24/7. But then again, I didn't want to insult her by saying, ew, no, your boyfriend's not cute or whatever. And I think I did when I said, oh no, he's too skinny for me, which he was too skinny. I don't really date skinny guys. I never date skinny guys. It's just, I'm a big girl. Like, I am a big bitch. Like, if I were to date that little skinny man, I probably would break him. So I gave a look, and it was like a look of like, no, he's too skinny for me. And she's like, too skinny. Look again, look him up and down, look him up and down. So then I was just like, okay, he's attractive. Then when I said that, this bitch watched every little move I made. Like, I do this thing, like if I'm talking to a guy and I don't know why I do it. I guess it's like it just happens. When I'm talking to a guy, I will put my hand on his arm, his shoulder or something like that. And then I'm just like laughing and I'm talking. It's just how I am. So when she saw me doing that, I can see her glaring and giving like this like ugly, angry look or whatever. And then I was just like, let me just stay away from this man, because I do want to keep this job. I do want to work here. I actually really like the way the building was, and I like the setup and all that type of shit. But after that, and after me denying her for like the third time, it was more like, you're not doing this right. You're not doing this. You're ripping that wrong. This isn't the way that it should be. That's not the speech you should be giving. Mind you, this is what she wanted me to say when approaching the customers. They wanted me to hold the bag out like this, like Frankenstein. Hold the bag out like this and walk towards the customers aggressively and say, miss, here, for you, take, for you. No, that's like the worst English that no, I'm not going to sound stupid and special needs. I'm not going to say that. I asked her, why couldn't I say, excuse me, miss, would you like a free sample? And she got really pissed off, because that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not going to talk like I didn't go to school. So it is what it is. She was mad about that. Then she told me that I had to go and practice the speech again. I tried it their way. I said it the way that they wanted me to. And then people looked at me like, ew, why are you talking to me like this? Why are you coming off that way? It's an aggressive approach that's not attractive, and nobody wants to come to a person that sounds like a robot telling them to take the bag without giving them the option of saying no. So I didn't do it that way. Then it was, when I had my clients come and sit in my chair, I thought I was doing it the way that they told me to. Nope. She all of a sudden came up. She watched me do my speech and present the product to the client. And after he left, she goes, "Oh, you did it wrong." So I was like, "Okay, so tell me what I did wrong." She goes, "You have to look for the bad eye, and that's the eye that you do, because there's one eye that people sleep on, or something like that, that you have to just do the bad eye, because then you're not going to get the best results." So then I said, well, if the product is supposed to work, then why does it matter which eye I do? As long I get that maybe there's going to be like those lines. If like I lay it on my left side of my face, I'm gonna have those lines or whatever. But that, like, once you're walking around and your blood starts flowing, that doesn't stay in your face. So I don't know what she was talking about. Like, oh, there's one side that's gonna have a worse. There's one side that's gonna have more wrinkles than the other or whatever. But I just said, if the product works, then why does it matter which eye I put the product on? So she just kept demanding that I put it on the bad eye, and then she says I had to look for the bad eye. Mind you, they didn't tell me this in the beginning, that we had to look for a bad eye, and they didn't tell me while training me that, oh, by the way, when you go to do the thing, make sure you look for a bad eye. No, none of that shit. And then they're in the speech that they give you, you're supposed to, even if the product doesn't work on the person's face, you're supposed to act all surprised and act like, oh my God, it really worked, and blah, 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 blah. Listen, I can lie when it comes to selling clothes and stuff like that. But when you're telling me that I should lie to a 78-year-old or an 80-year-old woman who is relying on your word on a product to in hopes that it's going to make her like at least feel or look younger, I can sit there and be like, oh my God, yeah, you look great, when the product's not really working. So the lady comes in, she sits in my chair, I put the product on her face, and I honestly did not see a difference. So the lady goes, what do you think? Do you like it? And then I'm just like, well, what do you think? And then she goes, I don't know. I don't really see a difference. So I was like, well, neither do I. I was like, maybe we should put some more on under your eye. And then right after that, she came over and she took over, and then she started like brainwashing her, talking really fast, not giving the client any time to put a word in edgewise, but it is what it is. And that's how they make their money. I'm not that type of person. I can't just go and sell a person a product that doesn't work, or that I haven't tried it out myself and can say, wow, yeah, this is me. And I'm not going to sit here and tell people, oh, yes, I use the product all the time, that's why I look young. No. Sorry, it's not going to happen. So, oh, then there was the thing about the commission. So we all were supposed to get these commissions. Like if we bring in a client, we get 50% off of whatever the commission is if we do the client. And if we bring the client in, and we're going to call her Trishelle, and then we're going to call him Welchiani. So if Trishelle or Welchiani, we bring the clients in, and then Trishelle and Welchiani takes the clients, then we have to split that the profit into 3 ways. Meaning I get a piece, Trishelle gets a piece, Welchiani gets a piece, and then that's how that works. Every time I went to go work on one of my clients, they wouldn't even give me like 5 minutes with the client. They would jump in and say, I got this, I'll take care of it. And I never made my own commission. But the funny part is I never even got my, I'm going to wait and see with this check and see if I'm going to get the 50% commission for bringing in the 2 customers that I did. So we'll see about that. Oh, this was another thing. And I do admit that I had a big mouth for this. So there's this client, worker, we're going to call her Kelly. Kelly asked me, so how did Saturday go? And then I said, it was not bad. I was like, we had a few customers. She was like, did you make any money? I said, well, yeah, your customer came in and I sold her the product for $200. And she was like, oh, well, what name did you put it under? I said, well, I didn't put it. I called, what were we calling him? Welchiani. I put it under Welchiani. I called Welchiani, and Welchiani walked me through the whole process. So she was like, do you know what name Welchiani put it under? And I said, I think he put it under his, but I'm not sure. So she was pissed off because that was her commission. And in my head, I'm thinking, I thought they were all like family because they all talk the same language and they all like laugh or whatever. And I didn't think they were going to be jipping each other out of their money. I didn't know that he was stealing her commission. So when I told her that, she was really pissed off. She grabbed her purse, she walked away, and she said she was going to call the big boss, and she's going to make sure that Well, Shiani gives her money and that she's gonna make sure he gets fired and all this bullshit. And it was a hot mess. And then um it was just like this big old mess. Somehow it came back to where I had said something about the Saturday's commission. And then I was just honest. I was like, yeah, I did say something. She asked me, did we make money? And I told her yes. And by the way, your client came back and I sold your client the $200 product. And that's not my fault that he decided to put that commission under his name and think that he was going to get away with it. And I wouldn't be surprised if he was taking their money. They don't speak good English. The two people that I had to work with, they don't speak good English, and I don't think that they're like I don't think they're I don't know. It was just a weird situation, and she just talked about how bad her family needed the money, and I felt bad. And then there was another guy. I want to call him his real name, but we're gonna call him Smeven. So Smeven, um he when they were trying to like diffuse the situation and they were like getting on the phone erasing all of the lies that they had when it came down to commission, Smeven was like he saw Trishelle in the back and she was switching figures, and he said he didn't like that because he would lose his commission and she would get the money from his commission. And then I said to him, I was like, you need to fight for your money. I was like, that's messed up. I was like, I don't want to be a part of this. If people are going to be stealing people's money, that's not cool. I didn't sign up for that. But anyways, so he somehow managed to get away with it. I was not caring. He was giving me the cold shoulder. He didn't talk to me. That's fine. Whatever. Then she was being very, very rude and standoffish. And like I said, every little thing that I did was wrong. So I was just like, I'm going to be an adult about it. I'm going to finish my shift. I'm not going to leave early. I'm going to stay the entire shift. So for 4 hours, I sat there like, oh my God, when is this going to be over? When am I going to go home? When is this going to be over? Just because it was so fucking annoying and it was so fucking awkward in that building that I really didn't want to be there. But again, I'm the type of person that'll suck it up and stand and do the entire shift until it's over. And then I was just like, I sent a long, lengthy text saying why I didn't want to be there. And I did apologize. And that was that. He called me like 2 times and he was trying to get me to come back and trying to get me to understand things, but there's no understanding. Am I going to be in a situation where you will allow your girlfriend to make people feel extremely uncomfortable? And again, I'm not some like prude who's like anti-sex. I love sex and all that shit, but like when I'm working, I like to work. And if it's day 2 or day 3 of just getting to a place, you cannot just expect somebody to be like, oh, yeah. Well, there's some people that may do that, but not everybody's like that. I'm not going to just be like, oh, yeah, let me pull out my panties and let's go in the bathroom and have sex. That's not me. That's never going to happen. I'm sorry. So if she wanted that, then she should have went and got it from her man. Or better yet, her fucking boyfriend, or better yet, he could have got it from his wife because yes, they're both in relationships. He is married and she has a boyfriend. So, do I feel bad for walking out and telling them that I don't want to do it? I don't feel bad at all. Do I feel bad for I don't know. I guess the only thing that I feel bad for is just that like I left the new guy who just started working there with me and we were just starting to get along. And when we worked together, we had fun. But I mean, I'm not gonna keep myself in a situation where it's like extremely awkward and weird and uncomfortable. I've never had this situation happen ever in my life, and I'm not gonna stand for it. So if people think that I'm just gonna be some blonde bimbo that's gonna like let people like lick on my titties and just fuck me, then you got another thing coming. Unless I want it, then I will take it. But I didn't really want it. Don't get me wrong, they're very attractive. However, if I'm talking to somebody or I'm dating them, I'm very loyal. So I'm not gonna be disrespectful to the guy that I talk to. It is what it is. This may be a long and boring story time, but I just feel like I had to vent that out to you guys, and I hope that we will chat soon. Have a great night, and it's almost the weekend.